Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of The Studio. My name is Adam. Today we're going to be looking at the Iñaki Sebastian MCS series. Thank you so much to Brennan Morano for suggesting today's episode again. Brennan, you have a very keen eye. You spotted the Iñaki Sebastians in my mallet bag video, so I'm going to feature them on today's episode. And of course, this is the first episode of 2017, so Happy New Year. But let's get down to business. So Iñaki Sebastian's shop, if you've ever visited it, is PERCUSSIONIST, which is a Spanish shop. Everything's in Spanish when you first come to it. But once you click the English button, you'll understand that everything is sold in 2 pairs. Now, these mallets are not that expensive. The MCS series, regardless of what hardness you buy, is 79 euros for 2 pairs. So per pair, it's about 39 euros. That's about 40 US dollars. That's about 50 Australian dollars. So it's right in the middle of the market, right in the mid-range where you'd expect normal marimba mallets to be. And because of the 2 pairs and the free shipping, it's a very popular choice amongst students, very popular in Australia. That's why a lot of people I know own Iñaki mallets. Let's start with the build quality. Iñaki Sebastian's mallets are very different to American mallets. I mean, just look at it. It's brown. This dark brown color that they've managed to achieve with the birch is just really unique and really nice. It's actually really nice to the touch, super smooth, looks really high quality, kind of like an ebony sort of color. I really like that. Towards the bottom of the shaft where you normally hold it, they have this little tapered off end where the brown part stops and it becomes a bit of a rougher birch finish. Now, this is more of a traditional sort of birch finish, and I'm not 100% a fan of this sort of suddenly stop design. I would have liked it if the entire mallet was this brown, but I guess some people like this roughness, like to be able to grip it a bit easier. Yeah, the good news is the end is smooth, which is nice. Smooth ends make friends. And overall, it's just a really well-built shaft. It's just a really unique design, and it will definitely stand out in a mallet bag. At the top, you have a very interesting way of designating hardness and also the brand. It's a sticker. Now, I don't have any mallets that have stickers on them except for these Iñakis, which is a very interesting way of doing it, but it does make the hardnesses a bit easier to distinguish. Like, for example, the MCS3 is green and the MCS6 is red, so you can tell immediately which one's which just by looking at the color of the sticker. And if you look at this MCS3, which is meant to be a medium, mine actually says medium soft. I don't know whether that's meant to be a mistake or something, but I found that kind of funny because it's definitely a medium mallet. It's not a medium soft at all, but it says medium soft. So what's going on there, mate? Also, a lot of you guys noticed this silver tape that I put on my mallets. Ebony puts this on because it looks really cool. You can get this from a gift wrap shop. It's just simple gift wrapping tape. But that's a story for another time. So Iñaki Sebastian's MCS series, I'm assuming MCS stands for Marimba Concert Series. So I guess I shouldn't call it MCS series because that would be Marimba Concert Series. Whoops. So the MCS product line, I guess. The lower the number is, the softer the mallet is, and the higher the number is, the harder the mallet is. So as you can see here, I have a 6N and a 3. Right, now 3 is meant to be a medium. I know it says medium soft, that's a lie. This is a 6N, which is meant to be a soft. Now I'm assuming the N is a different sub-series. It has a very sort of oblong head compared to the normal traditional egg-shaped head that we have on this 3. But the numbering is very confusing. So if you want this sort of head, buy the N series, and if you don't want this sort of head, buy the series that doesn't have an N on it. Okay. Anyway, ergonomics. These mallets are not 50-50. They are definitely slightly weighted towards the front. Very slightly, which makes them kind of easy to use for people who are not so familiar with the marimba because you get more sound out of less effort, but they still have that sort of traditional, build with the whole egg shape or the very small heads. I wouldn't say they're the heaviest mallets in the world. They're only very slightly weighted, but they're definitely more weighted than something like the Van Sices. So if you're looking for a 50-50 mallet, this is close, but not quite. Lengthwise, I think the length is standard. I don't know if the L series is meant to mean a longer shaft. It's that the 3 and the 6N are pretty much standard lengths, and they feel pretty good in their hand, okay? I'll be honest. I really am enjoying that slight weight that they have. But because they're not quite 50-50, but they feel like they should be 50-50, they sometimes, to me, feel like they're a little bit out of control. So yeah, not necessarily my first pick when it comes to ergonomics, but you might like it. And now we come to the sound quality, and this is where I take a step back because, again, you have to remember the studio is a show where I talk about what I think of products, and you may not agree because everyone is different, and that's fine. But these Iñaki Sebastian mallets are not my favorite sounding mallets because I think they have a lot of contact sound. I'll tell you what, I'll leave you with the sound test first so you can judge it yourself and see what you think. and let me know in the comments below if you agree or disagree. I'd love to hear. But yeah, have a listen. Okay, so after listening to that, would I buy these mallets if I had the chance again? Probably not. Reason number one, I think the MCS3 has a lot of contact sound because this yarn is quite loose. It does not pass the studio squeeze test. Threes just have a very sort of sound when you attack it. I think for most people who are in an ensemble situation, or if they're a student and they're learning for the first time, that won't really matter. They still sound fine. But in a situation where sound matters, I think you might want to look elsewhere. The 6s definitely sound warmer. I mean, they're a soft mallet, but also this head design that's a little bit tighter definitely helps with the sound. There's not as much contact sound on these, but still not my favorite kind of mallet. They still have a little bit too much ping. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Bar sound, I don't know how you describe it, but it's just extra sound that I don't think is really necessary. God, I'm being so harsh on these mallets. Again, don't get me wrong, these are a great first time pair of mallets, but I just don't see myself using them very regularly other than in ensemble situations where I don't mind breaking them. Oh man. But that being said, these are well-priced mallets. They're well built. They look really nice. So yeah, for your first pair of mallets, these might do the job, but otherwise, look elsewhere. Anyway, thank you so much for watching today's episode. I'm sorry it's a bit rushed. I'm actually heading to Melbourne tomorrow and the day that I'm filming this video, so I've got to quickly go back home and pack my stuff. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments if you have anything you want to see on the show. Make sure you hit the red subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit that bell that's next to the subscribe button if you want to get a notification every time I post something, because you know what I'm like, I post whenever I can. And Happy New Year. 2017 is going to be a great year. I will see you next week for another episode of The Studio. Thank you very much for watching and good night.